You're trying to get in shape for summer. It's that time of year, right? I've got people coming to me left, right, and center. I've got a beach vacation coming up. I've got a bachelorette party coming up. I got all these things coming up. I'm gonna be in a Speedo, in a bikini, in board shorts, whatever. You wanna look good, and that timetable is getting shorter and shorter. And this is that time of year where people start doing crazy, crazy stuff. Like maybe trying a wild diet, a juice cleanse, double days at the gym, extra cardio, a crazy class on the weekends, really trying to do too much. And what I wanna do is cut all that out for you guys and make it super easy. I wanna give you my 5 biggest tips for getting that summer body you want and keeping it after summer's over so that you don't fall into this cycle every single year in March or April. Let's get into it. Rule number 1, get off the fucking treadmill. Lift some weights. I'm serious. It can be real basic. If you're not lifting weights right now, start simple. Start with 3 total body weightlifting sessions per week. Sprinkle your cardio in between, but let weight training be the core of your program. You're gonna get a lot more long-term carryover towards your body compositional goals out of weightlifting than you ever will out of cardio. And if you don't believe me, the next time you go to the gym, I want you to do me a favor. Look at the physiques of the people in the weight room and the physiques of the people on the cardio equipment, and you tell me who's leaner. I promise you one thing, that if you aren't currently weight training at least 3 times a week and you start doing that, that'll get you where you want to be way faster, and what you have underneath that fat will look way better. Let's get on to rule number 2. Rule number 2, calorie management, okay? Every single one of your buddies that's done keto, vegan, carnivore, all these other diets, they all work on the same basic premise. Those diets help you stay in a calorie deficit, okay? You don't need to do any of that crazy stuff. All you need to do is figure out what your daily caloric maintenance is, right? Your caloric maintenance is the amount of calories that you eat in a day that will keep you exactly at the weight you're at now, okay? Find that maintenance, take 300 to 500 calories out, okay? That'll put you into what we call a calorie deficit, and that is the magic place to be. If you can be in a calorie deficit of 300 to 500 calories per day, and your weight training leading up to this event, this vacation, this summer, right? That is the key. You're not gonna lose body fat unless you're in a calorie deficit. And it's a lot easier for most people to just track some calories than it is to do a huge dietary overhaul and remove carbs or remove meat or remove vegetables or do any of this crazy stuff people are doing. All I want you to do, find out what your calorie maintenance is and be a little bit below that for the next however many days it is until you need to be ready for that summer look. Now you're weight training, you're in a deficit. Now I need you to focus on these things. The first one, get your protein in, okay? Protein is a fundamental piece of building and maintaining a muscular physique, and it also helps with fat loss, okay? Protein is 1, incredibly satiating. It will help keep you full. 2, it helps with building and maintaining muscle. 3, it has what we call a very high thermic effect of food, meaning when you eat protein, it takes your body a little bit more work to break it down than carbs and fats. So from a dieting standpoint, protein is your best friend, not just for body composition, right, but also for feeling full while you're in that deficit. The second piece, and this is something I've done with clients for years and something that I find works very well, and that's to increase your intake of nutrient-dense, fibrous green vegetables, okay? When you go into a deficit and you start taking stuff out, you might have some nutrient deficiencies because you might be removing foods that you are getting nutrition from, right? So focus on things like broccoli, spinach, asparagus, leafy green, nutrient-dense vegetables that have almost no caloric impact and a ton of fiber to keep you full and nutrients to keep you going. And the last piece, probably the most important piece that most people miss, is hydration. Hydrate, you guys, seriously. You aren't going to get anywhere with your fitness goals, whether that be compositional or performance related, unless you're adequately fueled and hydrated, okay? Every cell in your body, every biological process that your body is doing on a daily basis needs water. You need to be hydrated. So do yourself a favor and aim for about half your body weight in ounces of water per day. Okay? Not only will it help keep you functioning, it will also help keep you full and make that deficit that much more manageable, right? Because it doesn't matter what dietary thing we choose, we just want to choose the one that we can stick to. Number 4, this is my big sleeper tip, no pun intended, the one nobody really talks about, okay? Stress management and sleep. Hear me out, guys. Anytime you take on a new training regimen, okay, you go into a calorie deficit, you change things with your diet, your body's going to interpret that as an external stressor, okay? Now, the training and the diet will help you with fat loss, but elevated, prolonged stress will work against you. So being able to manage your stress through things like sleep is critical. So to optimize this process and get to that summer body you want, make sure that you build your schedule around your training, preparing your food, while still allowing yourself at least 8 hours a night of quality, uninterrupted sleep. What that will do for your performance and body composition cannot be understated. It will make a huge difference. And if you're somebody who's dealing with a lot of stress, whether that be relationship stress, work stress, all other types of stress, maybe in your day, you might be somebody who needs to set a little bit of time aside for some breathing exercises like meditation, some time to unwind, just to help limit the amount of stress, okay? Because somebody who's on the same exact training program, the same exact number of calories, getting the same amount of protein, right? One person's heavily stressed and the other person's not. The person who's a little less stressed is probably gonna have favorable body composition. So I want you guys to focus on that too, because it's something you can fix like that and it makes a huge difference. All right, guys, last piece. And it is the last piece because out of everything I've mentioned, it is the least important. But it is something that I see people who are really in this place where they're on a time crunch. This is where they get screwed over the hardest. And this is with supplements, okay? The supplement industry preys on people just like you, okay? People who are on a time crunch, who want to achieve a specific physique, who don't necessarily want to perhaps take the most sustainable and long-term approach to get there. So first things first, stay away from the bullshit, okay? Testosterone boosters, over-the-counter testosterone boosters, over-the-counter fat burners, you don't need any of that stuff. If you're gonna buy supplements, in my experience working with clients, there's really only 4 things I recommend for somebody looking to lose body fat. Keep it real simple. The first one, a high quality protein powder, okay? Something that you can have on hand to make sure you're reaching your protein goal to maintain the muscle you have while you're in a deficit, right? The higher quality the protein, the better in my opinion. But again, where you guys get your supplements should be something you research yourself. Number 2, a fish oil, okay? I like to have a fish oil in my nutritional regimen, my supplement regimen. There's a lot of benefits for counteracting excessive inflammation, for training recovery, for brain and heart health. That's a great supplement, but if you're somebody who eats a lot of fatty cold water fish, you probably don't need it. The third one, a multivitamin, okay? Anytime you go into a deficit and you remove nutrition from the diet, you might lose some nutrients. So a high quality multivitamin is nice to have on hand. You do not need to take that every day. You do not need to take it if you don't want to, but it is something that I like to have on hand, especially when I'm in a deficit. And the last one, guys, is caffeine, okay? You can get it from coffee. You can get it from tea. You can get it from a pre-workout if you're into that. But caffeine is a potent performance enhancer. It will help you push harder in the gym. It will help you with not just aerobic performance, but it will also help you get that little extra edge. And it's been shown to help with fat loss. So again, protein, fish oil, multivitamin, caffeine. Skip the test boosters, skip the fat burners. That's all. Keep it real simple with your supplementation, guys, because those first 4 things I mentioned, that's doing 95% of the work. All right, I know you guys are all thinking it. That sounds really easy. I should do more. I should add this in. Could I do this and do that crazy diet? I'm gonna tell you no on all that. I know it sounds easy, and that's because it is. This is a strategy that's sustainable, evidence-based, and something that most people can stick to. Let the time work for you guys, okay? take the next couple months to prepare and commit to something like this, right? Let the deficit do the work for you on the fat loss. Focus on your weight training. Stay hydrated, prioritize protein, get nutrient-dense vegetable and carbohydrate in the diet so that you stay nourished. Focus on your sleep and only take the supplements that you absolutely have to. I know it doesn't sound complicated and it doesn't have to be. You just need to commit to being consistent for the next 30, 60, 90 days, wherever you're at on this timetable, and trust the process and let your body do what it's programmed to do. Hope you guys found this video helpful. If you did, make sure that you like, comment, subscribe. We've got tons of content on this platform that will work super well with what we talked about today in regards to achieving a specific physique goal or a specific compositional goal. So feel free to look around. There's tons here for you to watch and learn from. Have an awesome day.